world is this one?
You saw the sky fall, I trust. I doubt you could have missed it. And wherever the sky falls, a dragon soon appears to lay waste to the land. Or so I had assumed, after what befell Melv. Yet aught here appears to be different. Has our ruin been forestalled, or merely postponed? I must examine that creature. It may well be the key to unraveling the origins of this cataclysm.
I can see where we need to go, but some fell power is blocking our way. Many paths are closed to us now, on account of the dragon's descent, no doubt. But we must find a way to reach it.
Confound this obstruction. But I suppose I ought to have expected this. Answers were ne'er so easily won. Monsters! Summoned by that beast, no doubt.
I shan't let them come.
What are we supposed to do?
You dare!
Got to keep it together.
You dare!
A little faith in yourself.
You!
Watch over me. Deliver me from harm.
Have a little faith in yourself.
I'll fight till the last.
Come on, have at
I
it.
must stand firm.
I'll not be done in by the likes of you.
We're done for. Principles unproven are as dust on the wind.
That's what I'm talking about.
I train every day.
We
Oh, where
need
that
to-
came from?
It seems this is the only way forward.
Masterfully done!
Let us aim for greater precision with our next attempt.
Naught can be achieved without sacrifice. Why do you falter? Come this way. Enough. Follow me.
I am grateful to you, Arisen.
A fine welcome indeed. I can only hope that the worst is now back.
It's right there.
Principles are as dust.
Let us guide the...
The beast's fell powers are twice as terrible in the flesh.
I am honored to be called to your side, Arisen.
Achieved without sacrifice.
I knew that I could count upon your strength, Arisen.
You have my protection.
Alas, theory unproven is of little practical use. There it is! The dragon at the heart of all this destruction. The secrets we might have learned. Never mind. You've your charge, 'tis true, and the fiends appear to be falling back. But I trust you won't object if I take a sample of its remains. After all, your role is to save this world, and mine is to pursue its secrets. Go, do what you must. I will remain here. Someday soon, I will, and on that day, I will slip the yoke of this broken order.
The pursuit of betterment is an endless journey.
Put your back into it!
You've pushed your luck too far.
I'll not take that from you.
Pray calm yourselves, good people. I will have none of this squabbling.
So, Manella, you don't understand. This scoundrel's the one who started it.
No, you don't understand. This is no time for the people of Batal to be quarreling amongst themselves. We shan't weather this calamity unless we can recall our common purpose and unite our efforts towards it.
To think, that vase was in truth a dragon.
Ah, Sir Arisen. You are in the world in such disarray I could not. Thus did I return, to render what I maintain order as best I can. But for every fire but enough of my woes. You wish us to evacuate? Mayhap the idea merits some thought. After all, if we sit on our haunches, 'tis likely only a matter of time before we share the fate of Mel, alas. The people of Batal are far from united in purpose at present. Should we proceed, unheeding of their divisions, I fear that our efforts would come with every soul at their wits' end. Conflict is like to as such. Before we take any measures, I would have you walk amongst the people, Sir Arisen, and should you encounter any discord, pray do aught you can to resolve the people's quarrel. Such efforts will doubtless allow the evacuation to proceed all the... As for me, my work here is far from done. Let us part ways for now.
Flared tempers are understandable given the circumstances. Let us aid in mediating the quarrels arising in Batal.
True enough. I've had well enough of your nitpicking.
I reckon the world would be better off without you.
Oi, you! Don't go poking your nose in our business.
Aye, leave off or we'll make...
You can do this!
Teach me to stick my nose where it doesn't belong. Oh, not because you Teach me to stick my nose where it doesn't belong.
Have you lost your bloody mind?
Reckon you could just cut us down in this? What's the matter with you? Eh? Fine, fine. We'll set our squabble aside for today, so bother...
You would gather materials here, Master. Can we really afford to carry more? I've wares aplenty, as you can see.
Another day of work awaits. What to do?
Anyone got coin to spend?
Oi! I saw it first. Phew. Trust a flea-ridden hide to take it all.
Why must I share with a fangless one? This is no more your food than Batal is your
Oh. What does this say?
A thorough perusal might reveal aught of...
You there! You couldn't have come at a better time. Put this upstart in his place for me, won't you? Go on, lay into him. If that's what you think, why don't...
Aye, clear off. Pretty words shan't...
You've pushed your luck.
How dare you?
Mayhap I'll buy myself a new sword next pay. You said it's bad to hurt people. Wow! Thanks, sir. Say, Rakim, would you like some? I can't eat all this myself.
Really? Thanks. That's mighty kind of you. If only our fathers could do the same.
Oi, leave my kid alone.
You're not some child snatcher, are you?
Wait, you shared your food with them. Thank you, sir. As for you, Nomos, it would seem we were both but looking out for our children, eh?
Aye. Mayhap we're not so different after all. And we both had children fed. We've no reason to quarrel.
The desire to protect one's kin transcends race and culture. It just goes to show we are none of us so different.
A result.
Ah! You're just riding on your father's coattails.
You slander my honor, sir. I demand a duel. This is no business of yours. Begone!
Now, Narborough, let's not be too hasty. If we are to duel, we ought to have a... Otherwise, who's to say the victor fought with...
Aye, true enough. Without a witness, either of us could simply kill the other, then disavow the use... Well, sir, what say you? Will you watch over us while I take this scoundrel to task? This knave dared to slight my honor. He said my swordsmanship was hardly fit to wound a training dummy. The bloody nerve of him.
And I'd say it again. 'Twas your dear father's patronage that made you a sentinel, not your own skill.
You have my gratitude, sir.
Have at you!
During my time with Lord Phaesus, I found myself in a strange state of mind. Though my mind was perpetually unclear, I always felt your presence, Master. I cannot explain it. Mayhaps was made possible by the bond we share?
'Twas an ordeal indeed, and there is much for us to ponder. But for now, we must find a means to forge ahead.
This is beyond the pale.
You can do this. I know you can.
How cruel!
I admit it. I underestimated your skill. The loss is mine.
Nay, 'twas I who underestimated you. I'd thought to score an easy victory, but you fought fair and capably.
We owe you a debt, sir. 'Tis on your account that we've seen some sense. Were it not for your timely appearance, I'd wager this nonsense might have cost one of us their life.
Indeed. Better to hone our respective skills than take up arms against petty slights, I say.
It seems some things can only be resolved by crossing blades. But I doubt they'll quarrel again after this.
'Twas a pleasure to recount such good tidings.
Ah, Sir Arisen. In less pressing circumstances, I would take issue with your methods. But I cannot deny the people of Batal are beginning to see that they must stand together if they are to survive this calamity. We shall see the fruits of your labors when the time comes to evacuate. At the very least, pray return to Empress Nadinia and apprise her of your heavens only know how many lives you have saved this day.
What say we report back to Empress Nadinia? Her Majesty ought be willing to commence the evacuation now.
Fear not, 'tis well in hand.
Slim pickings of late. Am I losing my touch?
The heavens will surely specimen does an endless journey. I do hope 'tisn't cracked.
Her Majesty has begun her supplications. None may...
Stay your hand, Vera. Come hither. We would... One of our ministers informs us that you have been espied in the city, resolving the people's troubles. You have our gratitude for your efforts, which have doubtless bettered the fate of this nation and its citizenry. Your journey continues, does it not? We wish you...
Pray excuse the interruption, Your Majesty. But I fear time is upon us. I would see you prepared for the road ahead.
Indeed. Forgive us, but we must take our leave.
That Batal and the rest down are now safely evacuated. I'm certain we can rely upon Sir Manella to keep the peace.
A result to be proud of.
Would you care to talk a moment? If anyone can see us through this calamity.
The so-called Forbidden Magic Research Lab appears to have been constructed rather recently.
That does seem to be the case. What's more, only a select few are granted entry.
It is all very secretive. I wonder what the citizenry make of it.
Must remember to place that supply. Ah, that's right. I must fetch those papers.
I dare say I can spare a moment. There's a task I would have you attend to. I suppose I cannot always have...
Oh, that took nary a moment. Now that we're here, what did you have in mind, Arisen? Tis a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
We ought to put it to good use.
Need anything? Many thanks.
Welcome to Bjorn's, and quality's what you need if you...
want to survive. So before you check the price, just remember, many thanks. I appreciate the...
I trust we only purchased what we required, Arisen.
'Twas hardly a loss, if one considers the value of what we have gained.
Well met, son. How might I be of service? I'm tired of working. Gladly stay.
Where was I headed?
Your Majesty, how glad I am to see you safe. Where have you been this... The end of the world? Are things truly so dire? Though, I am aware of the dragon attack on Melv. We received word that naught but a smoking ruin remains. 'Twas a tragedy, and I would not see it repeated. However, without a clear path, we in the Guard shall be hard-pressed to forestall the impending... You would have me evacuate the city? I see. Mayhap 'twould be for the best. Ever since the fall of Melv, the citizens of Vernworth have lived in fear that their homes are next to be assailed. If there is safe harbor to be found elsewhere, I believe we have naught to lose, but I doubt I could convince the people of this city to abandon their homes. Methinks your Majesty would do better to ask this of the Regent. After the false sovereign vanished and the world was altered, His Grace has been the one keeping order here. If the people will heed anyone, 'tis him.
Maintaining order in Vermin must be quite a burden upon the young Regent King. Let us aid him however we may.
No quarrel here. I'm not risking my life for repentance.
Now, how best to proceed?
I suppose we might as well gather what we can.
If you must go off on your own, there's naught to be done. I only hope you'll return sooner rather than later.
So you've come. I'm glad to see you. Captain Brandt has already apprised me of your proposal. A full-scale evacuation of the citizen. Truth be told, I had reached the same conclusion. So long as we cower within these walls, we must live in fear of going the way of Melv. My ministers have approved the plans, and I have petitioned the encampment survivors and the Thieves' Guild for aid. The only remaining obstacle is my mother. She has set herself stubbornly against any such flight. I have tried to make her see reason, but of late she has taken to However, I fear that my position permits me to entertain her fancy. I must put the needs of the common... Now, there are a few matters I must attend to before we can evacuate. And we will require several ox carts to carry the sick and aged out. Might I prevail upon you to petition the merchant at the ox carts? You may assure him that the royal treasury will foot any...
Queen Regent Disa hardly leaves her chambers, and all her meals come back scarcely touched. Between you and me, I fear...
Have you come to claim my life, Arisen? Well, far be it from me, but I shall go to the grave with a smile on my lip. So do as you will. The throne and its powers. The throne and its powers. The throne and its power.
My sword arm could use some work.
Yes? This was in Mother's room. I did wonder where it had gotten off to. But why would she... There's aught inside. 'Tis I... Might you excuse me? I would speak with Mother. Mayhap there... All she did, all the scheming, all the plots. 'Twas all for me, you see. So I...
Sometimes I wonder if I'm so tired. I've barely the vim to tongue my boobs.
This sort of quiet means...
Mother, I must beg your forgiveness. I believed that you desired to make me sovereign solely for your own benefit. Yet in truth, you sought to better the lot of our people.
Ah, but I would have benefited. And handsomely at that. Besides, I cannot deny that I was proud. I wished to see my own son on the throne, and no other.
Even so, I cannot help but feel that all of this could have been avoided. Had I only been more attentive, if I had but better known your heart, I could have shared in your burden. You would not have had to suffer alone, and perhaps together, we could have walked a better path.
Oh, Sven.
Mother, I beg you, join the evacuation. You need not fall with this city. I would not see you take your crimes wholly on your own shoulders. That weight is as much mine to bear as 'tis yours.
My son, you truly would make a fine and goodly ruler. Your kindness will save many lives. Of that I have no doubt. My son, your kindness will save many lives.
Would you be so kind? You may assure him that the royal...
Whatever happens here, anyhow. For it, but to cut my teeth in a real battle. A fine place to sit and gather one's...
I've got to focus. My shift's only just begun.
Quiet at last. Here's hoping there'll be no trouble today.
I quite like it here. Our prayer is still not come.
Begone with you, ruffian. These carts are mine. I paid good gold for them. And if you think I'll surrender a single one, you'd best think again. I require the use of all of them to transport my wealth to safety.
Begging your pardon, sir, but I've just sold off my last...
Begone with you, ruffian. These and if you think I'll surrender I require the use of all of...
Is this enough to have avoided the worst?
At last.
Fie!
My spirit!
What are you doing? Put that away! No! Spare me! I pray you! I fear for my life. I see no way out of this.
Well, reckon he won't be coming back here in a hurry. As a matter of fact, I'd like to thank you for that. It didn't sit right, see? Having my wares claimed by some puffed-up minister trying to save his own skin. Anyhow, as long as I've got my gold, who takes the carts is no concern. And if that craven comes crawling back, I'll tell him bandits took them.
They say a crisis reveals one's true character, but that man was no less miserably selfish than he always seemed.
Right you are.
We shall remain here.
Boots laced, belt strapped. I would that all my days were so tranquil.
Ah, you've returned. How fares your procurement of those you do? My thanks. That puts paid to the last of our preparations. I will inform the citizenry forthwith.
Townspeople depend on me. Would that all my days were so tranquil. I'd sooner stay out of battle. Where it
Your battle? I'll prove my worth.
All honest coin is made while the sun is high. But not as the expense of knowledge.
Oh, I've got to keep moving. Lest I fall asleep or nary a dental scratch on my arms and
Anywhere